With $50 billion invested in new technologies, electricity from coal is getting cleaner every day.
Jamboree.
Electricity from coal is on average about
Okay, which one is
from other
ours?
fuels. That makes energy more affordable for millions of American
Traveland.
businesses. Essential, affordable, and increasingly clean. Electricity from coal must play a vital role in our energy future. To learn more, visit balancedergy.org.
That's it?
Want to go inside, Russ? Look at it here.
Well, it's whatever you want with us. What? What's so funny?
Probably gonna put some more air in the battery.
Let's go.
It must be hollow, huh?
Know about what?
This is gonna work.
Why wouldn't it work?
Murphy's Law.
Pretty quickly.
Now, those are empty now, I presume?
These are full.
Oh, they are full.
Yeah, they are full now. They don't be fixed. Well, we filled them up. And what you got here is it's an automatic changeover valve. So you can actually open both valves here, leave them open, and it's only going to draw for one tank, but when that one runs empty, it'll automatically switch to the other tank. What's going to happen is they'll always have this green here, a little bit of green. That's when the tank goes empty, that will show red.
Oh, okay.
And if you look at this and you see red, you know one tank is
One
empty.
tank is empty, okay.
So what you want to do is look at the valve here. This indicates which one is empty. See, if it was red right now, this would tell us that this tank is empty.
Okay.
And you can just switch it over. That'll lock it onto your other tank. You can take the one tank off and get it refilled, and that like that. That's the situation there.
Okay.
Gotcha. That battery back there now, that'll be fully charged for me, right?
Yeah, it is now, and
And that's basically just to operate the lights inside.
well, yeah, it's the majority of your stuff is actually 12 volt. You'd have without being plugged in. Without being plugged in, you could run almost everything off here. The only thing you would not have would be air conditioner, microwave, and your plug-ins. But all your appliances and your lights would work,
Okay.
as long as you had.
But as soon as we plug in 110 outside, that
Your converter works as a charger that will charge this.
and that'll charge that one up. Okay.
And if you got the wire hooked up on your plug-in here, you should also charge from your vehicle when you're going down the road.
Which way we go?
They don't, any of them anymore come with a spare tire. It's kind of an
Well,
option or an
I mean, if a
extra.
guy blew one, the other tire would get you somewhere, wouldn't you?
Yeah, actually, what a lot of times you can do is actually, if one went flat, you could run the other one up on some blocks and get weight off of that flat tire and you take it off.
Oh,
If you're running on a flat tire very far, it could probably get hot and start coming apart or something.
The other tire could get you to a station.
Oh,
if
yeah,
you're slow
you-
enough and careful
You
enough.
limp yourself into town or something.
Yeah, sure.
Cover here is where you can go in there with a hose. That's the fill for the fresh water tank. The vent on here is quite a little bit smaller than the fill. So if you're running too fast there, you might have a tendency to airlock and it'll act like it's full, but it's not really. So you kind of got to gauge that, how fast to run it and stuff. There's a monitor panel inside that tells you the level. It'll tell you when it's full and stuff too. The other hookup is city water hookup. Where you got access, you can just put the hose up there and get it, and you got direct feed on that. Inside, this is your water heater. Right here.
I'm gonna have to light that, or is that?
Yes, it is. It is a manual light situation. They're not real difficult. It's got the pressure relief valve just like all water heaters have. Right down here in the bottom is the drain plug.
Okay, for winterizing.
Yeah, for anytime you want to drain this out, pull the plug out. It's got a adjustable thermostat here. This little lever that will move back and forth. Hotter or colder. Hotter or colder. You have the smart there.
Okay.
To light it, you go from the off position here all the way over to pilot here and hold that. Get you a flame of some sort. Light the pilot there. Hold that for a few seconds.
Okay.
Remain lit there. Turn it to the on position, fire right up.
We got water in and now we're on together. Now it's heating the water, okay.
What it'll do there is it'll just burn until it gets up to the temperature you got set here. It'll shut itself down to the pilot situation.
Yeah, we can shut it off. Oh, I see. Yeah, let's leave it on pilot, yeah. I think that's good. You can leave it that way for weeks, days.
Well,
You want it.
yeah. Actually, you're probably, as far as traveling and stuff, this is probably gonna blow out.
Oh,
Just as well shut it off in between uses and stuff.
okay. Might as well shut off now.
Yeah. So that's showing you what it'll do. And then as you use water, it fires itself up. Reheats things again. Yeah. You normally can shut it off.
Is this special rate?
It's about like a 7/8.
Socket?
Yeah, be the best way. Just a wrench isn't going to get on very good. Socket's the best deal with that plastic plug anyways.
Okay.
So it don't round off on you. They use the plastic because aluminum tanks there. Plastic will give. You know, the threads will go on that before it'll damage the tank too if it's got cross-threaded or something like that.
Okay.
All four corners have got stabilizer jacks.
Yeah, where is the crank for that?
That is on the inside. Somewhere that's on the inside here.
And all you do is whip it down.
Yeah,
They don't,
you've done
hey,
it
they're
on the
not,
other side,
they're not
I'll show you
good
that.
for changing a tire though, are they?
No, they're actually not even a deal that you're going to use for leveling. It's just to get it stabilized so you're not moving.
Oh, okay.
Take that motion out of it. Actually, for leveling purposes, you got from one side to the other being low. Before you even get unhooked, you'd want to check that, and then you'd want to actually run some blocks underneath the wheels on the low side to get you leveled up that way. And then once you're unhooked, you can level the front and back by running the jack.
Yeah, the hitch.
Sure.
Yeah, but basically you'd be blocking the tires to level from one side to the other.
Yeah.
Basically, these stabilizer jacks are not going to move it a lot. You might adjust a little bit, but if you got it doing a couple of inches, which could happen, 1.5 to 2 inches, you know, you're better off with a 2x6 or something underneath the tires. If you're not going to do it with stabilizers in it.
Okay, I love the nice and tight.
Yeah, and it's work.
Every time I see magazines, they say,
Yeah.
okay, let's see.
It's got a little hookup here for cable TV, if some ways it's got that.
Yeah, okay.
Electric cord storage.
Okay. Right here. Let's got the adapter.
It's got an adapter on it. Whenever possible, you got anywhere from 20 to 25 feet here, at least 20 feet forward. Whenever possible, and almost any campground should have those direct plug-in, 30 amp plug-in like this. If you're running your air conditioner and you try to use the microwave and you're on your adapter, you have to pop circuit breaker or something. If you're down to 20 amp, sometimes on a GFI only 15 amps available here, so and basically your air conditioner's using that all up.
Okay.
So whenever possible you want to do this. But you can use the adapter when you're at home and you want to just, you know, have some lights, maybe run that a little bit, or, you know, run the refrigerator, cool it down, things like that.
Yeah, okay, and then I'll carry another 50-foot of yellow, I guess a yellow cord like that.
But yeah, if you got a good heavy extension cord, that would work too.
Okay.
The thing you're going to run into is, in the event that you got to use the adapter, you got to use that extension cord, what you may have to do is, you know, if you want to use the microwave, you might have to shut the air conditioner off for a while. Otherwise, you're just going to be running back and forth to the pole, resetting that.
Okay.
Yeah, there's
25 foot, 20
at
feet.
least.
Like the Duracell battery.
Yeah.
Funny, okay.
Yeah, what is this? This is the backside of the refrigerator here, and it's actually just a maintenance area.
Oh, okay.
There's really nothing you should have to get at in here at all.
The refrigerator works on gas normally?
Gas or electric,
Depending if I'm going down the road or plugged in.
and all the controls for it are on the inside. So there's really nothing to get at here other than for maintenance purposes.
The refrigerator normally will run on electricity if we're plugged into a post in a spot. As soon as we unplug, it automatically converts over to gas.
Yes.
Most of these have an automatic setting on them anymore where you can put it on, be on that auto setting
Just leave it there.
and plug it in, you're on electric, you unplug it, it goes to gas.
And this is nothing to worry about here?
That's the furnace, just exhaust area for it and stuff. The sewer hose.
Oh, yeah. The fun hose.
There's in the bumper there.
Necessity hose.
Yeah. And
In most cases.
basically, you just got to turn the cap off here. It's got this deal. Turns on there and you
Find a place to dump
go in your dump hole, whether it be on site or at a dump site.
or somebody's ditch.
Neighbor's lawn if you don't like it.
Yeah, whatever works.
And then you pull one first, or does the main?
Yeah, basically, generally, what you'll want to do is sewer tank first. Basically, that's because your gray water is a little cleaner, it kind of rinses all.
Okay.
The bigger valve to the back here is the sewer tank.
That's the big one, the one on the right. Okay.
Yeah, that's the one coming from your stool. So it's just a matter of pulling it out, to open it up, push it in to close it. Then your gray water from your sinks and tub and stuff is the other one. That's all, of course, cleaner water. It just kind of rinses the hose, make it a little nicer that way.
Okay. That should take care of that.
And you want to put the cap on whenever you're going down the road or not hooked up here. Also helps not, if it's dangling, it might, it's likely to fall off or something. They don't like to see them open going down the road just in case something's going to leak a little bit or whatever too.
Now let's see, there's a place to let the water out manually too. They're out of the tanks, or is that on the other side?
For your fresh water tank, yeah, there's a valve, little petcock right underneath here.
Okay.
Right down here.
Oh yeah, over there.
Just a
Okay.
matter of turning that.
Turning that, and that'll drain all of my Water.
All over, yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And there's water in it now. We can leave her drain if you want it.
Oh, no, that's
empty.
okay. We can, your water's as good as my water, because it usually runs about 6 pounds per gallon usually.
I think they figure 8.
Okay, what do we got here in this box?
This is a storage area.
Okay.
Basically, that's all it is. It's got, there's a clip deal that'll hold that open for you.
Put anything I want in there, okay.
Pretty
Tools, probably. That's where I put my wrench.
much
Pieces of
anything.
wood, blocks, and stuff like that.
Couple of the kids maybe.
Plug in, we got outside plug in here. Plug in for most anything. That plug in there and kitchen sink, bathroom are all on the ground fault circuit, GFI deal. So, and the bathroom is where the reset is for that.
Okay. Yeah.
Does it?
I gotta have you show me how to put that
Doing
in.
alright, I think he's usually got this stuff.
There should be a hook somewhere, yeah, they keep that under the bed, okay. And that's
Is that
the
the
oddball thing, is that where the jack is too?
That's where,
Well, that's the jack there.
this is the handle.
I mean, the one where they take the yeah, let's screw them down and see how they look here.
Yeah, you got a few blocks that you throw under there or something.
You can even speed it up, huh?
Yeah, and of course,
I wonder if an electric drill would fit on the end of that.
oh, I think you could. Maybe you could make adapt something
Yeah.
for that. You bet.
Okay.
You're in speed, huh?
Yeah, well, yeah, you know you're right. What's the big deal? What's another 5 minutes?
When you bring them up, you kind of want to snug it up a little bit so you don't have to worry about it going down on you. The awning here.
I think you gotta move a little.
Yeah.
See it. Oh, here it is, on this side.
It's got like a little clip deal here. And you just kind of squeeze that. It pops, pop it loose. Then you just loosen that knob there a little bit.
Okay.
Both arms the same way here. Just kind of pop that loose. And your main lock is right up on top here. And it's marked for roll up or roll down.
Okay.
So we want to go to the roll down position there. Look in here. You're going to have pull all the way until it stops.
Okay.
This strap slides in the track here. And in fact, down on the other end here, there's a spot where it'll actually slide right off.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we get it out of the way. You don't have to try and tie it up someplace so it'll swing around in the wind.
Okay.
Whatever. You get that roll all the way out. These arms here slide up all the way up there. Then you want to kind of get some tension here. Try and get the slack out of your canvas and tighten that knob up. Get the more slack out of there. You don't have much chance of that water accumulating or a little better in the wind and that sort of thing. Also, with that situation, heavy rains are not good for them.
Just like
Wind is not good for them. You know, if the weather's getting a little rough, you got a light drizzle or something, that's not going to bother anything. But if the weather looks a little tough, better off putting them away.
mostly sun and light rain.
Yeah, yeah.
That's all you're keeping off of you.
Yeah, because
Okay.
a heavier rain will have a tendency to try and collect in there. Gets too heavy, wind gets under them, flops them around, bends them all to heck. We replace
Sure.
a lot of them.
So
And they're not
preventative.
Yeah.
This handle here, you pull that handle up, raise it up here,
Oh, okay.
height position,
To your height desires.
that you wish, basically. Both sides the same way.
Honey.
Likewise there, if you got one end of this just a little bit lower than the other one, you can direct your runoff.
Yeah.
If you got any more issues going on there.
How many adjustments are there, different positions?
Oh, there must be.
A bunch of them?
So you run out of holes up to here.
All the way up to there, okay.
Got a hole about every 2 inches on it.
Oh, sure.
So.
Wow.
Did you get all the hail damage repaired on this?
Not much there, maybe 1 or 2
I haven't
cents.
seen it yet.
This is the little deal here that release that just pulls down. These also will release from here,
You make a foot if I want to, yeah.
and you can swing that out and set it up and down.
One more problem.
No, it extended, well, no, it really wouldn't
All I
extend
do
it.
is bring it out and give you a little more vertical height down there.
Well, that about the only gain I see to it ever would be in real close quarters, where it would give you so you can actually walk right alongside here
Through easily,
where
yeah.
you wouldn't have to duck underneath this or something.
Yeah, well, it's not such a bad option, but.
The main gain for something like that. When you're gonna roll this out now, you want to slide the strap over here. Best to have this hook with you at all times here too. It's spring loaded, so you got to get a little pressure on this in order to flip this back the other way into that roll up position. And we're going to center up a little bit with that. And it's got enough spring tension on it, it'll take off on you if you're not hanging on. Run it on up there. That's in the lock up position, so you don't do anything with that. You just squeeze this together, lock these in, and snug that knob down.
All right.
Cool.
These jacks, I'm going to change the power a little bit.
And we must have. One switch is going to run the light up above here for an entry light. The other one works the porch light.
Okay.
On that.
It's an interesting trigger.
Of course, your storage area under the bed there. All these other lights have the switch right on the light itself. The window over on this side here, I do believe, yes. You got these are got catches down there to hold the blinds in place.
Okay.
This is an emergency exit window here.
Wow.
Also works, you can open it up and use it as a regular window. It's got an adjustment there, in fact. Basically, the way this is designed is that'll push right on through here. You just grab this and pop the screen out. And then this window swings all the way open. It's hinged so you can swing it wide open to give you an exit in the event you can't get to the door.
Right in first.
Emergency, your emergency window.
I gotta go over there on the fire, I'm really in trouble. That's all I got.
Doesn't take much to melt this down, I suppose.
Yeah, I don't, a guy, your whole person never would have to use that or worry about it. You'd think you could get to the door. But it's like, they got codes here quite similar to what they got with houses and stuff.
Sure.
They require all these things.
Otherwise,
the manufacturer has to do it.
Breakers over there.
All
They're there.
the fuses and stuff are all in here. For the 12 volt stuff.
Okay.
The 20 amp fuses, and the one that's 7.5. That smaller one is dealing with like the radio and the LP leak detector and stuff.
Okay.
This has got a disconnect here also. When you're not using this, You know, you can just store it in between times. Winter time, of course, if you're going to be in the cold, you want to pull that battery out so it can't freeze.
Yeah.
Otherwise, if you're not using it for a couple weeks, 3 weeks at a time, in between times, it's good to just pop this off. That way you don't have to worry about a light being left on or any darn
Draining
thing
the battery,
draining the battery.
Okay.
It eliminates that sort of thing.
To winterize it, that's the main thing.
Yeah, that's
Just pull the battery out.
Yeah, pull the battery and pull that circuit breaker.
Nothing else, okay.
Yeah, the battery, you know, they get discharged to a point.
Drain your water.
Even if there's nothing draining on it, yeah.
All that stuff,
Of
of course.
This leak detector deal over here.
Oh, I see it down there.
Yeah. Now there's a green light on it, and that's normal. You should that green light will always be on whenever it's got voltage to it, and it is operate off 12 volts. So this deal's going to work regardless of being plugged in or not, as long as the battery's up. The green light's normal. There's a red light, and there's also a beeper alarm deal in the event of a leak.
Carbon monoxide or gas leak?
It'd be LP.
LP
if you got a
okay.
gas leak.
Okay.
It wouldn't have anything to do with carbon monoxide, actually. Or that.
Strictly a gas leak.
That red light comes on, the beeper goes on. That's indicating a leak. Of course, you want to shut your tanks off, get some air in here and such. This black button is marked mute. You can push that and shut the beeper off. You don't have to listen to that once you got, you know, it's got your attention, you know what's going on. You don't need to listen to it anymore. There's also a yellow light that it says fault. Basically, that it could be that there's something wrong with the machine there. Generally, that's going to be because your battery's low. If you're operating off your battery and the battery voltage got to a certain point, that yellow light is going to come on. It's just telling you that it ain't working. You don't rely on it or nothing.
Yeah,
If you think you smell gas, go by your own senses. You know, don't say, I guess I don't smell it because this thing ain't going off. You know, play it safe. Always. This flips right down into a bed deal here. Also, down underneath this is access to the water heater, which if you were going to run antifreeze through the system here, you'd want to probably take those two lines off and connect them together so that you could bypass the water heater.
Oh.
That way you're not getting antifreeze in the water heater. It's also, if you don't do that, it'd take an extra 6 gallons of antifreeze to get it winterized, because that's the capacity of the water heater.
Oh, I see, yeah.
And then it's a rascal to get all that antifreeze out of the water heater when you go to flush them out again. So it's better to just bypass that. The water pump itself is down back in the corner
Oh,
there.
yeah, I see it way back there.
Yeah, they got it in kind of a hard spot to get at. About the only way to,
Wow.
best way to get at it is to actually take the couch off.
Would I ever have to get out?
You can do that, huh?
Actually,
You
there's
can pop the couch up.
2 screws like this on each side,
Pull the whole thing out. Huh?
and then it'll lift right off of there. That's actually the easiest way to get at it.
So I'd have, the only time I'd have to do that then is maybe winterizing?
Winterizing it probably.
Oh,
Yeah.
unless,
This other deal is the converter down here. Got at that.
okay, that could be.
Yeah, they could have situated it a little bit handier to get at. That's what kind of makes it a little tough to winterize, but at least the guys only got to do it once a year.
Yeah. Well, then we won't be able to demo that today, will we?
No.
Can you talk me through it a little bit, or?
Well, basically the best way to go about winterizing is to actually have a separate hose. And you know, what a lot of people do is you know, they're like their first time around, they'll bring it in and kind of watch. But usually what you do is just have a separate hose that you can attach to the tank side, the input side of the water pump. And you stick that hose in your gallon jug of antifreeze, turn the pump on, and it'll draw the antifreeze. You go around to all your faucets one at a time, open it up till you get antifreeze at them. And
They don't
That gets all
have
the
a method
water
of just opening up a valve and draining the water out of everything.
well, there's back underneath here, also not real handy to get at. There are 2 little black T-handle valves that are they call the low point drains. They're kind of back behind there. If you open them,
The little black ones back
yeah.
there.
If you pull them up to open them and kind of open your faucet, that's going to drain the majority of your water out. The thing there is, if that line's running where it's got a little low spot in it or something, it isn't necessarily draining out of that low spot, which, you know, is always where it's going to end up being a deal that freezes. The antifreeze, the deal with the antifreeze is that it fills the line and pushes the water out. And it's actually not a matter of having that you have to have the antifreeze in the lines, but it pushes the water out. Blowing the lines is a good deal in most cases, but you can also run into the same problem there. Once the air pressure can blow by, it's not going to necessarily push water either. And that, if there is a low spot in a line, everything will eventually drain back to that low spot. A lot of people do the blowout and get by with it fine. I wouldn't think you'd have a great deal of problem with low deals. Pretty much everything's pretty level and stuff with these. You know, it's all in what a person wants to do.
You gotta store.
When you blow, I mean, how do you blow?
What we got is a fitting that we turn in on the city water hookup with a like an air chuck do it, or you can actually get a deal where you've got like a tire valve stem to it. You can buy these little things, screw in there and put air pressure to it.
Would that be where you hook the water up outside?
Right where you hook that
okay.
water up on the
So if I
outside.
put air pressure there, and if I had,
If you put air pressure to that and then come around here and run your faucets
Put all the
until
faucets
everything quits pushing water, you know, you may have to put air to it a few times, but that's gonna
and then but I still have to drain the water heater.
drain the water heater, drain the water tank.
Okay,
Then you also want to dump antifreeze down your traps when you're all done.
Toilet and here, so it'd be two of them basically.
The toilet really doesn't have a trap.
Oh, that's right, it doesn't.
But you got your sink here, your bathroom sink, and your tub.
Oh, yeah,
Should be actually those three drains that you'd have to deal with
Okay.
on that. TV antenna up here.
Oh, yeah.
That is-
Crank.
Crank. Yeah, it's marked up and down, and you just go accordingly. It cranks up. When you get to the top, it'll just come to a stop. Don't want to force it at all.
Anyway, I should
can't
be able to
see it
see
real
stuff.
well. Yeah.
I'll see something sticking up out there.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
It's also, when you're up, you can pull this down and you can turn this.
Oh.
Zero in on your best
You
reception.
bet.
Yeah.
Now, does that just stay up all the time until winterizing again, or
Oh, no,
you have to pull that down all the
This
time?
deal, this is
Well, that's
only-
just when it's stationed.
That's just a
Stationary.
rabbit ear. That's just a big one.
Gotcha.
Yeah, you,
Only when your
only
electricity
when
you're
you
hooked
only
up.
want it up when you're set.
Yeah.
You want to actually be darn sure and remember to crank it down before you take off again.
There you go.
Yeah.
Because it
That's
sets
pretty
up,
high up
it's, could catch on something. Also, just the wind going down the road is going to probably be damaging. There's two little pointer deals here that you want to line up before you crank it down. That way, it'll crank down and set in a bracket there where it's supposed
In
to.
this little cradle.
Yeah. And you know it's in the right spot. If it was turned a quarter of a turn, it might crank, end up off the side of the coach or something like that too. Along with that antenna, there's a hookup up here.
Excuse me.
It's like cable coax type hookup there. Also, it's got this little black button. Push that in, the green light comes on. That's a booster for the antenna. That improves the reception a lot. They help a lot.
When this is up.
Yeah, well, it'll help even
Even
with it
went
down.
down, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And then I see there's a 6 volt plug-in.
Yeah, the 12 volt like a cigarette lighter adapter or
If I
whatever.
need that. So, but the only time I would need that again would be, then I could use the battery off this if I wanted to watch TV.
Yeah, if you had a DC television, or you know, probably more people use them for like cell phones and stuff than anything anymore. That's if you got a charger that works off a cigarette lighter, work off of that, you know.
I'd do that off the band too.
That's sort of
And you want to get a VCR TV combo? Is that what you're thinking of?
Yeah, I want a VCR.
Just,
combo for sure, but I don't know. I'm trying to. What is it? Can you measure the height of that? Can you got a tape measure? We just.
yeah, I'll check it after bed here.
I want to see what size TV I should get. Looks like a 13-inch would be got it.
About all you're gonna get in there is 13 probably.
Yeah, looks like a 8. Yeah, 8 meets. It's only 8 inches. Okay, 16. And 16 by 23. 16 by 22. We'll buy a TV that'll fit those dimensions. Okay.
Where it tells you where your levels are. This test button, just hold that in there. And well, the fresh tank here is about 2/3, between 2/3 and full there. Holding tank, great tank, both empty. You know, as you're using water, this is going to go down, this is going to go up, that sort of thing.
Well, it's even got tells us the battery, huh?
Battery level there, yeah. This other is for your water pump. That you can turn the button, turn the switch on.
Once it pressurizes,
It'll
take
run
care of
until
itself.
it'll builds up the pressure and shut itself off. When you use water, it kicks back on again.
So we should get a little water out of here right now.
Should have water, yeah.
Yep. Happiness.
And
Would you shut that off then, going down the road, or? Isn't it
I probably would.
You know,
If you didn't, it wouldn't be a
It
crisis.
shouldn't matter. One way or the other on that.
Oh, there's a bunch of handbooks too. Okay.
Reading material.
a couple years worth.
Yeah.
There's your storage areas.
More storage down here. Oh, there's something.
And that's the circuit breakers for your
Outside power, yeah.
for your main power. Basically, it's got a main breaker, then you got probably front and rear plug-ins, and it's the air conditioner and a microwave would be on the circuit breakers there. So, the stove is basic gas stove where it's a matter of turning over to the light position here and putting.
Can you light the oven? Show me how to light.
Yes, I will. With the oven there, that has a pilot, and
First, you're gonna light the pilot light.
basically I usually turn it up a little bit until I get it lit here.
Oh, I gotta see where you're at.
You'd have to get one of those little flamers there.
Oh,
Right towards the back there.
okay. There you go to pilot.
We're staying lit.
Yeah, it stayed lit.
Good.
Well, it's really faint.
Yeah.
But
That's the situation. Once you're lit, you can go to this pilot on position and that pilot will stay lit. You don't have to go and relight it all the time on that kind of deal.
I don't think I think the few times we use this, I'll just relight it every time I need it.
Well, the thing there would be, if you were gonna be out for a weekend or in the same place for a while, I would suggest to always shut it off when you're going down the road or anything like that. But if you're in the same campsite for a few days or something, you could get by with lighting it once and not having to mess with it again during that period of time.
Okay.
When you want to use it, once you got it lit, you just set your thermostat here to the heat that you're looking for. That kind of flares up there, and it's got to heat that thermocouple up. It gets to a certain temperature to open up the gas valve, and then your burner comes on.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Then that'll go on and off accordingly to your temperature setting, and that sort of thing. When you're done, you can put it to the pilot on position. The pilot stays lit. You don't have to relight it. If you want it off, you shut her off.
Probably leave her off. And these have to be lit manually.
Manually,
Okay.
yeah, anytime.
So I guess we definitely got to buy one of these things.
Yeah, I think they're pretty handy.
Yeah, they're-
It's got a 3-position deal. You can have the light only, the fan only, or both. On that microwave is pretty regular.
Yep.
Instructions, of course, down in there. Refrigerator, is pretty simple deal actually. Basically you got the on-off button here. You're gonna just turn it on. If you're in the auto setting here, it's always electric when you're plugged in. If you unplug it, it automatically switches to gas. The only other setting here actually is to go to strictly gas. There's not a lot of gain in that, other than if, I guess if you're having a problem with the electrical side of it, that it, you know, say your element went bad, which means they're operating off heat. If the heating element went bad and it wouldn't heat up so it wouldn't cool, but your circuit board is still telling it what to do whenever you plug it in, you know, then you'd want to go switch it over to gas and then gas, you know, operate that way. When it does switch to gas, if it did not light here, check, there's a little light would come on there where it says check. Basically that's telling you that it didn't light right away. So it just needs to be reset. Basically you shut it off, turn it back on. It resets the circuit board and then it'll go through the lighting process again. Sometimes you may have to do that 2-3 times if you've had your gas shut off and the pressure's down and stuff. Generally, you'll leave it in auto. That's something to check on though. Before you leave, when you unplug it, you kind of want to make sure that it did light on gas. Chances are it won't be any problem because you know as long as they had the pressure there and stuff. If you came in here and you saw that the check light was on, you'd want to shut it off to reset it and turn it back on to make sure it did light. Furnace and air conditioner both work on the same thermostat here. Also, you can run fan.
Are there any filters that have to change with the
Right up in here there is a filter. I gotta check here, I think we might have lost it. On position here with the fan, and basically all that's doing is circulating air for you. Otherwise, you want to be in the auto position. Go to cool, wherever you've got the setting here. There's a high-low on the fan speed. It's a 6 thermostat, it's working like central air setup.
The air should be coming in right on gray almost.
Yeah, well, now these are adjustable. Kind of turn them up or so. Also, little door that you can open right here. Pretty much, with that open, pretty much all your cool's coming right here. Sure. But probably where you want it, especially if you're cooking or something here, washing dishes, whatever. Flip that closed there, and then it's shooting it down the ducts. All of these are kind of a threaded deal where you can turn them, where you can kind of control having more cool to the one area or not by adjusting those down right. Likewise, the furnace, turn that into the furnace position, set the thermostat to your temperature you want.
And that one I don't have to light that.
You don't have to do anything there.
It's all automatic.
The fan comes on, then it ignites.
It's gas though.
Yep. The fan will come on.
Yeah, I heard it come in, yeah.
And then it's got its own igniter, lights itself.
But it comes out different vents, right?
The heat all comes out the floor.
Yeah. Good.
In the air.
Good heating, better heating.
Yeah.
Wish my house was that good.
Whenever you shut off the furnace, whether you do it with the thermostat or otherwise, that fan keeps going for a while. They're all that way.
Yeah. Okay, how do you get this baby apart? You just lift
This just lifts up. It just separates from the pedestals there.
You gotta kind of wrestle that. Then you take
Quick
these out.
hands.
Pull those out. You can set this down in between here, and it just sets on the lips there.
There's the grandkids' beds. Huh? More storage area or not down there?
There's
A little bit, yeah.
There's storage, pretty good storage under that one. That's wide open.
They might both be.
Looks like it.
Yeah,
More storage than that one, yeah.
pretty well wide open areas there.
Your toy storage, huh? Outdoor toys and stuff.
Then you just lay those
Swim
in the
gear.
middle, I suppose, or you could put them in any configuration. you
Yeah, you just
Stick it in.
fill it in.
Oh, I can see that's gonna.
I'd lay the poles down or put them under in the floor.
Yeah.
Well, they'll roll around on the floor. I suppose you gonna.
Yeah, I dashed that already.
I got it on video too,
Yeah.
so they don't have to.
Can't blame anybody.
So you can't blame it. You'd lay them. Maybe there's got to be a place to put those poles there.
Put them underneath.
Well, inside the storage area or on the floor, but
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
you hate to sleep on them. But
That's gonna be a nice snug fit.
Yeah.
Very snug.
it's the way you want it.
Yeah, but at least it can be done, that's important.
Oh yeah. But I guess if you got it set up, you're not gonna have a problem with them. The odds of being used in this thing are pretty remote.
You're gonna have Rick sleep on that one.
Well,
Not two of them.
Separate.
One of them.
You'd be using that. You'll be using that.
Put them on the top first.
They'll kill each other.
it don't really matter. Probably is that way if they wanted to some reason to walk out of it.
Yeah, that's how the radio works.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
20-ounce bottles of mellow yellow are 79 cents.
gotta-
Keep it all cool with 5 or 20-pound
Make
bags.
sure that you can
Premium ice. Purchase
control your speaker location.
10 cents off per gallon on your fifth fill with a gas saver card.
And it's got a cassette
Cassette
player,
also.
doesn't have a CD though, right?
No, just a set.
Okay. More storage, more storage.
Yeah, nice
The,
covers.
I guess we got a vent
Oh, you crank
here
that
that
up.
just cranks up. There's also in the shower area here, you got
Okay, sorry.
Crank this in.
I was just waving to myself.
Oh, yeah.
that one there. There's also a push button here. To run your exhaust fan there.
Okay.
Now this tub shower works pretty much like any of them, where you just pull the knob up here to go to the shower. The thing that'd be different than what the person might have at home on these, the shower head has got a shut off on it.
That's nice.
Basically, you can be a little conservative of your water
Sure.
and not changing your adjustments all the time there. For that. Storage areas.
Biffy.
They come with, all the stools come that way, they give you with one shot of chemical for them, that sort of thing. On the stool there, it's got hand controls for it, and there's actually 2 levers here. The one lever here just runs water.
It's kind of doesn't go down.
Rinse setting and etc.
Oh, I see. Oh, it just runs water.
That one home,
There's the dump.
That's when you want to take a dump.
Usually when you dump it, well, that's when each person will flush.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
I mean-
you want to do the water first and then the dump?
You can add-
Obviously.
Add water and such.
Oh, I see. Okay. Then you dump it.
Always gonna get a little bit of water back. That way you got the crap.
Yeah, you should.
If I
And that's just a light switch, yeah. Okay. Towel bar, switch. More, I like the storage over there behind you.
Big closet area there.
Oh, shit.
And this
Wow.
this has got a nice big bathroom compared to some of them. I mean, not big compared to some of them. It's big.
Yeah.
Bigger than
None of them are real large.
No. We're winding down.
So-
Yeah, you'd fit in.
We're desperate.
Whatever he puts in there, he's gotta take with him anyhow.
That's a good one.
All right, that's about it.
Well, that's about it. Okay.
Good job.
Shut the camera
You
off, I'll tell you a joke.
Get your
Yeah, go ahead.
hitch deal figured out there,
Oh.
set up, then we'll get you hooked up.
That'd be a good
How
ending.
that works.
Thank you very much. We'll be showing these at family reunions and everything else.
Family reunions?
Yeah, training films.
Dude, when you do your paperwork, they'll give you the deal about royalties on that sort of
Yeah, what's your name and address? Send
We
it.
should make some of these and just give
How much,
them to people.
what kind of a fine is it for photographing?
Without permission, yeah, we gotta slip.
So, well, I gotta get a
Good, thanks guys.
title.
Very well done.
I'm not, it's time to winterize
This thing just, that's on. Yeah, it is, you bet. You just shove that in and it goes up, right? On a latch, look. Oh, fold it, okay.
We'll get this all done for you before we do paperwork.
Easy. See it?
Can't you leave it out for a while? Take some WD-40
Spray it.
with the end.
Okay.
This is the only minute.
That sets keys. The black key. Both the latch here and the deadbolt. The other key is for your storage compartment.
We got the one.
Keys for that one?
Don't lock the deadbolt.
Okay. It's a totally separate key, okay.
Yeah, we gotta make sure all the lights work, the brake lights work and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
Brian will do it. With me every time we need to work.
Okay, I'll get out of here.
Always make sure that the cap is hooked back here so it can't slide backwards. See this little divot here?
Yeah.
It's gotta be down in there. So now it can't come backwards like this.
Okay.
That's unlocked.
That's good.
There's lock. Now once we're hooked onto the ball, we're gonna lift the back of the van up in the air.
How do you know how far to go?
The higher the better.
I better get a power lift.
This is where your exercise comes
Yeah.
in.
Starting to hit.
You gotta work for your retirement.
Yeah, I'll watch it. We're gonna go on the other side, huh?
And these bars here, the chain is always up. So is this little label. Just drop the bottom in. And then the top slides in that groove. And then it's in place. Well, I'm gonna come over there in a second.
Right, yeah, the same thing over here.
And then these brackets I gotta tighten up. These brackets on the frame, they stay here all the time. Do the same on the other side here. Bottom first. If you're way out here, you can't do it. So you gotta have the tail way underneath here by the jack. You drop the bottom in, just slide right in there.
Start underneath.
Yep, always start on the bottom.
Once you do it now today, I won't have to adjust that anymore.
No, once I get these brackets in place, it'll stay.
What's the bar you gotta do? Drop the ball in.
This gives it, instead of like this going down the road, that's supposed to make it go like this down the road.
So the back of the van ain't dragging. Okay, so the reason we're lifting the van and everything once we're hooked up is brings these tails up. Otherwise they'd be way down here. There's no way you can snap them. So as you lift the van, this comes up. And you want to do the same thing when you unhook. You want to lift it up before you unsnap these or it will rip your arm right off because this is a leaf spring. There's going to be a lot of pressure on it. So I haven't figured out which one we're going to do here first.
We'll start with one, huh?
Well, I'm going to go
Two.
with two. Two's awfully tight, but I think it's going to need every bit of it. And then over there is a gold colored bar. So what we do is we hook it with two hanging for now. Now, all that pressure up. Push this little safety pin in, that keeps it from unsnapping.
We're gonna move this one up a notch.
Same over here. Well, if our front end is too high when I'm done, I'm going to make the chain longer. Because the more pressure I put here, the higher it's going to lift the front of the trailer up.
Again, once we figure out the numbers of links to use, it should be
Should be the same every
good
time.
from then on. Yeah. Now, how do you tell?
So now I let all the weight back down once I'm hooked.
How do you know when you got it ready? Just by eyeballing it?
Well, our ball height should be where we started. When it's perfectly level, the ball height was 23 inches. So hopefully we're within a half an inch or so of that, or an inch. So, get all the weight down now. You can see just how much pressure is on these chains. So you don't want to snap it without lifting it. Pressure. Right back where the van started. Away the vise, this little cable. If this gets pulled out, your brakes are applied on the trailer right now, full blast. So they'll lock up, so if it does come unhooked, this pulls out and it doesn't go into oncoming traffic. So if somebody accidentally pulls this out, you can actually push it back in. So if you ever notice that it's pulling really hard for no reason whatsoever, see if somebody didn't accidentally step on this and pull that out of there. Because that just snaps right out of there.
Would that put the red light on too on my thing? It wouldn't. And that will draw your battery down.
Yes, do not use that as a parking brake on a hill, because once your batteries are dead, there it goes.
Where do you hang that thing, Jake?
Then what we do, figure out just how much we want, and then we just make a little loop here to get rid of any excess. Put it around our pin. It's not on the safety chains. This is for if the safety chains don't hold it. So don't use these on the safety chains. This is a backup if the safety chains fail. So hooking them onto the safety chains would be defeating the purpose. Safety chains just go on here.
You almost gotta be about that slack, because they'll bind up and turn. So they'll
Yeah.
drag once in a while.
That cord's not on the pin, is it?
mean, if you hit
Okay. Or it's on the...
It's on this pin.
It's not, but not on this one. Yeah.
No, not on that one. No, I just pull that off.
Right.
And then
Those
the
viewers at home.
Then you crank your jack all the way up, get that foot out of there. And wherever you're going to store this, probably in the van or in the trailer. And then our plug, if we have too much plug, we just run it around the jack like this. Don't want to be wrong. Come up through here. And then this is always facing up, so the lid snaps on this little lip here, so it holds it in. If that's not enough slack, we'll just take it off around. Jack. Now it's completely hooked up.
Okay. Take my pipe and my foot and put it in the
Yeah, we
van.
might need this, yeah, we might have to snap this a little harder.
Oh, when we get
I
outside?
think the front end's still low. So I'll just do
Very
it here
nice.
for now. I'll go through the light to make sure all light first. And then I'll pull it outside, and if I have to, I'll...
And then whatever chain link that's left on, I'll use that from now on.
Yep. See, what we really needed was a little bigger, a little taller one of these. See, I'm as high as I can go. My last hole, it should have been up here. But this is all I had for a van, so I'll try to get away with using it. It's only like 1.5 inches long.
Why don't you just open the door, Russ? extra things. You gotta use 3 of them when you hook it up. 3 hanging. Okay, that should do it. I got all the paper, we can go. Thank you very much.
All right.
What? Where you did? Oh yeah, there's one over there.
The license plate?
License. Good for 30 days.
Alrighty.
I got everything. Thank you very much.
You got 2 sets of keys?
Yeah. What's the cookie? In case it accidentally flops over.
If you
So
ever,
just that one needs to be.
if you ever get it to where the door don't close right, WD-40, that sliding mechanism, flip it up, just push and shut with 1 finger instead of sliding.
Okay, that should get us there.
Alrighty.
Thank you very
Thank you.
much. Oh, that's for the radio.
Skybird.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. So this is smaller.
Yeah, it's smaller than the other one, not much.
Well, it's smaller and lighter.
Yeah, theoretically.
Here's the new house. Grace is already asleep.
This is a new one, but we got money off because of the
Toilet too. Oh my gosh. Why is that the first thing people check out as a toilet?
That's what we checked out too.
Oh, look at the table!
Oh my.
Grace is sleeping already.
Guys, the shoes.
Make sure your shoes are clean.
Sorry.
No, make sure your shoes are clean, guys.
They're clean.
This is pretty.
Oh.
Here, get off the bed now.
Yeah, Russ, I think they just tracked something.
Well, of course they did.
Sorry.
Well, if anybody stepped in the water, that's tracked.
Look at the couch!
That's pretty.
Somebody can sleep on the couch! Somebody has to sleep on the couch!
So it pulls over here. It pulls over here.
Here, that's a bed too. The couch is bed. So is these are beds too. Sit and pretend you're gonna eat.
How does this go? Does this go?
You play cards. So Grace, get your feet off the couch. Get your feet off the couch.
Stuff in the sink!
Put your feet under it.
There's another bed.
Yeah, but don't lay on it. Just stay off it. Keep your feet off.
Can we take our shoes off?
No, not yet. Well, if you take your shoes off, then you can. But
Nice, and this goes.
Yes, I'll take my shoes off.
Yeah, you can take
I'll
your
put
shoes
them
off.
back on. Back on.
No, Branch. Oh, get your fingers in it.
his shoes are off now.
Okay, now you
Branch and Grace would fit right, and then this goes into a bed right here.
No, Grace and Branch are asleep in the same bed.
No, and this one.
Yeah, that one's a little tricky.
Are you guys?
Just pull it straight up. No,
Pull that up.
I would
This
leave it
comes
though.
up,
Fall down.
and then,
No, it works normal.
these posts come out.
Oh, okay.
It's real easy. You just
It is
take
a
this
little-
See, you're
out,
supposed to sit here and play. This is where you play games.
and then you put the cross here. The bathroom's a nice size though.
Okay, now this is your refrigerator.
That's a refrigerator.
Covers! That's like covers!
This is the freezer and this is
There's even covers.
Little stove, microwave up there.
microwave.
TV, gonna get a TV up here, Lynn. 13-inch TV.
Where, oh, they bought one already?
No, he's gonna get a
I think
13-inch
it's
TV.
13
They
inches.
have,
Yeah.
we had our tape. But you know, this, I don't think this is a CD.
No,
You get bigger than,
Yeah, CB, I
you
have a
won't
CD
need
player.
bigger than that.
you can get one, I suppose.
Huh?
You probably
You
get
get it on
one.
a swivel thing so you can turn it?
Branch, you don't bounce on the bed.
Well, I suppose you could either just turn the manual.
Yeah, that's true.
And then the bathroom we did because it wasn't so little. So many of them are so little.
See, watch how I climbed over. Chris,
Yeah, you can climb over.
watch how I climbed over.
I like how it's really.
Is that underneath? Can I turn her? Yes. See, this is the easy part when you go over here. And then this is that skate.
This is too long for him. He just didn't like them.
It was big. It was
See
big.
if the radio works. The radio should work.
So then this
Doesn't it?
goes up like
It's
this.
just got a battery. See if the lights go on.
Oh, okay.
Wait a minute, there's a switch somewhere.
Power on.
There.
You go.
Crank it up. And they can dance. I think Grace is kind of a
the only thing. There was only one other soccer league.
Trails was flooded.
Yeah, but Sherman Park complex is not canceled. That's what they're supposed to go by.
Don't rub your head.
I would have never have done it.
What's
Never.
that?
Who?
Yeah.
Nervous about what?
About calling this again. Grace, you guys.
Grace, stay back by the sidewalk, like I said.
Grace, here it goes, Grace. I can stay here.
It's not as wide as the other one either. No.
Okay, now he's got to do it sharp. Keep coming.
Not as long.
Keep coming. No, you better keep coming a little bit. You got to clear the bump. Now you can start a little bit. Now you can sharp. Now do it sharp.
Branch?
You're all right. It's perfect.
No, Branch.
Perfect.
Gracie, you guys be quiet. Just let Daddy do the talking. Branch, come closer, honey.
Perfect. How sharp can you go, Lynn? Check the middle. By the hitch. Branch, get back over there. Get back over the sidewalk where you're supposed to be. You're all right. Perfect. A lot of room. No. Keep coming. Just keep waving him back. Okay, sharp. Good. Perfect. Couldn't get any better. Now start straightening it. There, you're in line right now. Nice job. There you go. Beautiful landing. Now, where's the, okay, go up a little bit. There you go. Let me see where this, you're doing great. Good right there. Come up a little bit. Whoa, that's good. I wouldn't. Well, you're right. You're just perfect. You can't get more perfect than perfect, yo. You want a little room on that side so you can lift the steps off. Well, it depends on where you want the steps. That's real good. That's pretty, now you're going back the other way again.
I want to put the car, the front of the car, but even with the garage.
Oh, you want to go down farther then? Oh, okay. Then you gotta go that way. No, the other way. I'm sorry. I mean the van this way.
I think what I'll do
Have the confidence.
is get the electrical cord out here now, and we could.
Do what?
Well, I guess we really aren't going to be spending much time on it.
Mommy, are you coming?
Did you really
You want to get it prepared. You want to start getting stuff?
Back it up further.
farther in?
No, I think it's smart. You go in the house and take a look and see what you think. If you want to see the camper or not.
Yep, we're gonna come in there. They're gonna go in the house, honey. and
No,
look.
Grandpa, I want to come
They're
in
just
here.
gonna go in and look.
Grandma.
You decide. Well, Mom, you go in there too. You decide where you want it.
You decide, yeah.
I think it's perfect now because they can't see it. It's almost like it's not here.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, that's what they should do.
No, they're gonna go in the house and look out the window.
Well,
Grandpa, I can't find that paper, but you can still have it back.
ice cream cake and have some more
what paper is that?
That paper that you gave me from over here.
Oh, yeah, I put it in the drawer.
Oh, so you can save it?
Yeah, you can pull that
I
drawer
can't
out.
finish this.
Check the
That's
other
okay,
drawer.
I finished it.
Yeah, there it is.
No, I can't.
See, I pulled the drawer and put it in there because you have, because I wanted you to give me some paper.
Thank you.
You should say, Mommy,
Gracie, you can't do anything now till they come. Gracie, are you gonna finish up?
Oh, yeah, but then we have to stay longer. It's more of a longer trip.